Whew, I still feel out of practice. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra, and if you're not new here, my name is still Kyra, even though I have taken quite a break from YouTube over the summer. So today we're just doing a good old shop my stash, get ready with me, and I'm out of practice when it comes to looking at the right place on my phone to film and things like that. I completely forgot to make a thumbnail the other day, so I need to remember to do that. If you missed it, Tuesday I did shop my stash for some products to transition from summer into fall, and that's what we're doing today. I'm going to use some of those products plus one very special guest appearance from a new eyeshadow palette, which I am adding to my shop my stash. So let's get started. I did already put on my Wet n Wild Impossible primer. I'm sort of unofficially working on using this up just because there's not very much left. And then for foundation, I'm going to use this Makeup Forever HD Skin in the shade 1Y16. And today I'm just going to apply it with a sponge, I think. We'll see what kind of coverage we get with that. This foundation was sent to me from Octly and Makeup Forever, so thank you to them. My review is complete, but I'm still testing it with different primers and powders and all of that. For the campaign, I had to use the three products that they sent, the primer, the foundation, and the powder all together. So now I'm keen to try them with other base products. Why does that feel like it's drying on my upper lip? All right, so I don't recommend that. I do need to go in with a second pump here, and I'm just gonna start off with a brush so I can really kind of get things where I want it. My Lanta, not a very good start to this get ready with me. So about last week, I filmed 2 videos and I felt like both of them were so negative that I just didn't want to post them. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm sorry I didn't have content for you as a result, because I just did not have time to refilm anything. It was the first week back to school for my daughter, so, but that's okay. That happens, and I would rather this be a safe place to just hang out and talk about makeup or, you know, whatever. So, all right, much better. I guess it's 2 pumps of this, and now I'm gonna go over it with my sponge. All right, next, going in with the Bobbi Brown Skin Full Cover Concealer. Again, I got this from Octly and Bobbi Brown. I've been trying this out. I do like it. It is definitely full coverage, and it's also definitely a more summer shade for me. So I've been trying to get some good use out of this before it is too dark. It's nice, I like it. I've again done my review already, so you know, I have no further commitment to the brand, and I don't know, I like it. It's fine. Again, I think it's any better than any other full coverage concealer? I don't know. I do find, I think it applies best with my finger, but I put a little too much on there. Let's try this side just with the sponge for giggles. So I was talking about on my TikTok, I think it was yesterday when I'm filming this, which would have been Monday, that I have made a little investment in my mental health for the winter, which is definitely coming here in northern Colorado. I mean, fall is coming right now, but winter is always very close behind. I'm gonna use this over my upper lip today too. So anywho, I bought a little greenhouse. It's kind of like a tent style, and it's going in my front room of my house. And I have always enjoyed plants. I used to be really into orchids, which I'm getting back into again. And I also grow succulents and just regular house plants. Plus I love to garden. So I bought a greenhouse and I'm putting it in the front room of my house and I'm really excited about it. It's all set up now. I can pop in a couple of pictures. I have a hygrometer in there that connects with my phone through Bluetooth so I can monitor the temperature and the humidity. I also have a fan and a humidifier in the greenhouse already. I have a few plants in there, a couple orchids, a couple of other plants. Today I have a grow light coming to me, so I'll be getting that set up today. Maybe I'll get that put into the video, maybe not, but let me know. I know some of you are plant gals like me. If you want a little greenhouse tour or anything plant related, if not, that's totally fine. I understand, but if there's enough interest, I could do a little lifestyle greenhouse plant tour type thing. I know you guys did comment on one of my previous videos that you would like to see some plant content, so I'm open to that. I'm next going in with the Makeup Forever HD powder, and I'm gonna set with the powder puff in my T-zone and with a looser brush in the rest of the face. So I'm excited about the greenhouse. I am first and foremost excited to be able to grow some plants, including a few orchids that really need a greenhouse setting to grow. I'm also excited to be able to play around with maybe growing some herbs in there over the winter or something like that, as well as starting, you know, seeds and things like that earlier on in the early spring next year. Just because here in Colorado, it's really not safe from snow and cold conditions to put plants outside until late May. And because of that, sometimes we don't get a very long harvest season because we're starting seeds outside or whatever. But because of that, we don't have a very long harvest season, which can be a bummer as well. So I'm excited to have some nice size plants to just put straight out into the garden next year versus having to start them or, you know, spend more money and have to buy mature sized plants. I mean, this powder is very smooth, but also looks really dry. I just don't know if it's gonna be a fave for me, but keep on trying it. And it may be that maybe it's like the perfect powder to go over a more dewy foundation or something, but at least over the Makeup Forever foundation, not a fave. And today I'm using my beautiful, well-loved Clinique Powder Pop Flower Bronzer in the shade Solar Pop. I love this bronzer and I don't know if I've even used it this summer, so I'm excited to do that. It has a nice kind of rosy tone to it, which I think I'm really gonna dig for today's look, or what I have in store for you. And of course, it is one of the older bronzers in my collection, so I want to give it some love, and that's why I pulled it in to Shop My Stash for this rotation. As I said in my previous video, or in case you missed it, I always have this one patch right here that just like won't take any color of any kind. Anyways, as I said in my Shop My Stash video, I am not just doing this rotation of products like for a month or anything like that. It's just for a non-defined amount of time, just till I'm done with the products, you know, don't feel like using them anymore, or just want to refresh my basket, whatever. I haven't been really doing a basket. I mean, I pull out things once in a while and just kind of set them on my desk as a reminder that I want to use it or been wanting to use it. But I did feel like doing one for you guys, and just to, like I said, kind of focus on some of the products that have been coming to mind when I think about transitioning my makeup from summer into fall. And for me, you know, there's a lot that is similar in terms of warm tones and golds and bronze and stuff like that. But there's also like a difference in the depth of tones that I like to use during the fall versus the summer. So we, you know, kind of starting to get into that. All right, next, an Emily Noel favorite. It's the Laura Geller Baked Original Highlighter Duo in French Poodle and French Almond. I'm just gonna swirl them together and apply this. And I'm just looking forward to sort of a really natural glow from within from this today. I mean, can you even? I really like this duo. I believe I got mine on Amazon. So I've been keeping busy around here, that's for sure. Even though my daughter is back at school and I'm, you know, home alone with the animals a good part of the day, I've been getting a lot done around the house, and I don't know how much to really talk about my mental health on the channel here, just because oh my gosh. So they're doing some kind of fiber optic work out in our neighborhood. They've been working on it and they just started working, and I really can't afford to stop filming. So hopefully that won't drive us too crazy, because it's like right outside, and they were there at my bestie's down the street for quite a while yesterday. So it's a good chance that I wouldn't get to film today if I don't just keep going. So I hope it's not too bad. For blush, I want to go in. This is one of the products that I've had in mind for that summer into fall transition. It's the Patrick Ta, what are these things called? Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's So LA. You have the powder and the cream. He actually intends for you to use the powder first and then the cream on top, so you get that nice, juicy, dewy looking cheek, which I am all about. So I'm taking the powder first, and I like to kind of work this particular shade up into my bronzer a little bit, because it is kind of a rosy bronzy shade. Even though it looks like a straight up bronzer, it doesn't on the brush. Are you guys pulling things to sort of start transitioning into fall makeup, or are you already doing fall makeup? Let us know. I do love fall makeup, but more than that, I actually really love my fall clothes more than my summer clothes. So, you know, there's that. All right, I'm next gonna go into the cream here and just focus that high up and sort of toward the apples of the cheek right here, and then blend it around. This cream I love. Like, I definitely prefer the cream a little bit more than the powder, but I do use them together most of the time. So a little bit on the nose. So my daughter is loving high school already, which I knew that she would. She is so much like me. She loves school. She looks forward to going back to school, mostly for social purposes, you know, from summer, although she had a great summer this year, fun, busy, etc. But she's really enjoying high school so far, and I am so thrilled for her. I think that is, you know, kind of an important thing, because it's really like the last little bit of being a kid. I mean, yes, you're still a kid after that, believe me. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. I think high school is what you make of it sometimes. Sometimes, you know, circumstances beyond one's control. But I really enjoyed high school too. And the more I was involved in things in high school, the more fun I had. Even though I was working part-time to fund my, you know, like shopping and stuff like that, I still really enjoyed high school and had time to do plenty. little Milani Make It Last. You guys, I am 100% telling you, this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. 100%. They don't smell quite the same, but there's definitely some kind of a similarity with this with the setting spray. So just putting that out there. And in terms of the effect, like, it brings the powders down and, you know, brings back a little bit of glow to the skin, but it does also keep your makeup on. Just saying. I'm gonna take a quick break and do my brows and prime my eyes for eyeshadow, and then we're getting into meeting our secret guest, a new eyeshadow palette. All right, I'm back. Brows are almost done. However, I want to use the e.l.f. brow lift here on camera. I believe this will be my third time trying this. It's a clear gel. This is not brand new by any means, but I've been really enjoying it the last couple days and just wanted to mention it. So I just fill in my brows first, then I kind of run this stuff, the gel, through my brows, and then I will press them down with my finger like that. So I am enjoying it. It's, you know, it's kind of nice and easy. It's a little bit easier than a brow soap, I feel like. One, you don't have to wet it or anything, but two, this is just, I think, a little bit easier to work through the brows, but I also still feel like it does a lot of good for hold. And I don't have the most stubborn brows by any means, but there's definitely brow products that don't hold my brows. So I have my eyes primed with Fenty eye primer, and before we get into the special guest, I'm pulling out my custom palette that I showed you guys in the shopping portion of my Shop My Stash. So I'm just gonna go into this shade right here, which I forget what it's called, Peach Sickle, from Beauty Junkies, and just set my base. I always set the Fenty eyeshadow primer. All right, so this was a little treat to myself before I go on a no buy until at least November. I'll tell you why in a second, because it's very exciting. But my last little kind of treat to myself, other than the income, if I make any income from YouTube, I always invest that back in my channel. But this is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. I have coveted this thing for a while, and it says mini eye palette with 2 easy to wear satin matte supermodel eye looks. But look how cute and little it is. And I'm now going to tell you why I'm going on a no buy, but it has this thing as always with the 1, 2, 3 where she tells you how to make an eye look, but I'm just going rogue and I'm going to use mostly these warm tones today probably, and these are satin, which I'm pretty excited about. I've gotten to where I enjoy matte looks more, but I definitely don't mind more of a satin look, which is kind of what I achieve with like a glowy bronzer when I do that. So anywho, so the reason I'm going on a no buy until November is because I'm going to Vegas, baby, with my bestie and her daughter and her daughter's best friend. Her daughter is the same age as my son, and yeah, guess why we're going? Billy Idol is going to be there. They've already seen Billy Idol before. I haven't in concert, you know, and so I'm very excited for that. We're also going to go to the Beatles Love Show, which some think, you know, is not going to be around all that much longer, so I really want to see that as well. So I'm so excited. So yeah, Billy Idol, the Beatles Love Show. There's a specific wax museum that my bestie's daughter wants to go to because they have a Hugh Hefner wax sculpture. It's just gonna be fun. pure fun. My best friend and I, as of like end of January of this year, have been best friends for 25 years. Oh my gosh, it's getting louder. This sucks. We're just gonna have to power through. So anyways, that's the deal. That's why I'm going on a no buy and why I have to stick to it, because I want to go to Vegas. Taking the same shade on the brush. This is for the day eye, by the way. And I'm going to define under the lower lash line and sort of buff it out as much as I can. So I'm excited. If you guys remember, I went to Vegas for the first time last year, last summer, because my hubby happened to be working there and he flies for work. I mean, a minimum of once every couple of weeks. So he has tons of airplane miles and things like that. So that was nice, but we were only there for a short period of time, and so we didn't get to do a lot, especially some of those like more traditional Vegas things like Fremont Street and stuff like that. So I'm gonna take this lighter shade on a fluffy brush and sort of blend the edges of the first shade in the crease, just soften things out a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited. I really honestly don't care what we do after the 2 shows that we have planned, because I'm just excited to go, have girls time, you know, all that jazz. Bestie and I have always wanted to travel together and had planned to at 20 years, but it just didn't work out for our families at the time. So I'm really excited that we get to finally do this. It's so funny because my daughter and her son, they are 14 and almost 15 right now, and my bestie and I really became besties like right around our 15th birthdays. So it's kind of surreal that our kids are that age. And then I'm also going to take that same light shade right here and apply that on the inner part of the lid where I've left it blank. It's gonna be kind of our brightening lid shade. I really like these. They're super smooth. They're definitely not her typical eyeshadow formula that you see in like her long palettes, like holiday palettes is what they are, most of them. So beautiful. And so anyways, this palette I picked out because I plan to bring it to Vegas with me, along with my Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette, because I love that palette so much. I really bonded with it over the summer. I wore it a lot. And lastly, I'm going to take this deeper shade in the Day Look. I don't even know what color. It almost looks purpley, but it's so pretty. And I'm just kind of working this into the outer corner a little bit. Sorry about all the noise, guys. Holy moly. I didn't know what they were doing yesterday, but it obviously has something to do with the fiber optic internet that they installed in our neighborhood. I'm pretty sure it was last summer or earlier this summer. I don't know. Anybody else completely lost track or concept of time because of COVID and still it has not returned? All right, soft little blendy blend. I mean, while I use the Day Look side of the palette, I don't know that I would call this a Day Look, or that everybody would call this a Day Look, I guess. I went a little bold. That's how I was feeling today. Lastly, I just want to go into the lightest shade in the palette here and highlight the inner corner as well as the brow bone. And I just love a satin inner corner highlight. It's my favorite. It's the best, like, happy medium between something really shiny and just a matte highlight, which I also like a matte highlight, but I think this is really nice. I gotta say, I kind of love this eye look. It's really doing it for me. Okay, curl the lashes. All right, while I let the lashes sort of settle into their curl, I'm gonna line my lips with the NYX Line Loud lip liner in the shade Global Citizen. This is very, like very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat formula and the shade Iconic Nude. And I'm telling you, this stuff stays on forever. Forever. And then for lipstick, I wanted to pull out something different for a change. This is the shade L'Avenue from Merit. This is their signature lightweight lipstick. And I just don't get as much use out of this one. But I thought with these shades, maybe I'll get into it. I'm looking pretty crazy at the moment because I desperately need mascara. I'm gonna put on a couple coats of the Maybelline Sky High mascara, do something with the hair, and I'll be back to show you the completed look. All right, this is the completed look. This is me all done. I did go ahead and apply a little bit of the Sephora MicroSmooth powder and light with my not so damp sponge anymore into the T-zone because I was feeling quite shiny. But what do we think? I really enjoyed all the makeup I played with today. I have a huge makeup mess in front of me, which I love sometimes. And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit about, you know, what my plans are for the cooler months coming up, about my trip that I'm super excited for, and things like that. Let me know down below if there's anything that you'd like to see for next week's videos, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days. Bye.